What about the human rights of the British people? The right not to be raped, stabbed and killed by foreigners who should never have been in our country to begin with. Please spare me the continued moral outrage. I am bored of it. The British people are bored of it. It is not cruel to deport criminals. It is not inhumane to defend our own citizens. What is cruel and what is inhumane is allowing foreign killers and sex offenders to walk amongst us in the name of the human rights they should have forfeited the moment they committed their crimes.
Hi guys, my name is Modi and you are welcome back to Modi Speaks. Guys, each day that goes by, I get happier and happier for the people of Britain. Of course, I'm not British, but people like Robert Lowe gives me renewed hope for the people of Britain. As of February 2026, the Restore Party now has over 80,000 members. Isn't that magnificent? This was a party that was just launched in February of this year, and in the same month, it has garnered over 80,000 members, and that is why we see the Muslim MPs losing their minds in Parliament. Those who are secretly against the prosperity of Great Britain are throwing tantrums and losing it because they are scared to see the massive support the British people are showing to restore Britain. They are panicking, and you're going to see their discomfort in the videos we're going to take a look at shortly. Robert Lowe himself is not giving them a breathing space. He has them by the jugular, exposing the atrocities these corrupt members of Parliament have kept hidden all this while, vocalizing the concerns of the British people without mincing words. Take a look.
I call Rupert Lowe.
Thank you, Mr. Mundell. It's a pleasure to serve under your chairmanship. The ECHR, what does it actually mean for British people? Let's go through a few examples, shall we? A convicted Sri Lankan sex offender allowed to stay in Britain because he is gay and would be at risk of persecution if he was returned to his home country. I don't care. A Jamaican drug dealer was jailed twice, allowed to stay in Britain after claiming his removal would breach his right to a family life. I don't care. A Zimbabwean jailed for killing a man in a car crash. Can I continue? No. A Zimbabwean jailed for killing a man in a car crash, allowed to stay in Britain after it was discovered he had an illicit love child. I don't care. A convicted Indian paedophile allowed to stay in Britain by claiming the move would harm his children. I don't care. An Albanian criminal was allowed to stay in Britain partly because his son will not eat foreign chicken nuggets. I definitely don't care. We hear so much of the human rights for foreign paedophiles, sex pests and murderers.
Is not giving way. Members may disagree with what he's saying, but we will conduct this in an orderly way.
What about the human rights of the British people? The right not to be raped, stabbed and killed by foreigners who should never have been in our country to begin with. Please spare me the continued moral outrage.
Mr. Lowe, sorry, Ms. Commerce is making a point of order.
Yes. The honourable gentleman just referred to the fact that someone, it just mentioned a few moments ago, that someone...
That is not a point of order. It is not a point of order in relation to the content of his speech.
What's wrong?
Mr. Lowe.
Please spare me the continued moral outrage. I am bored of it. The British people are bored of it. It is not cruel to deport criminals. It is not inhumane to defend our own citizens. What is cruel and what is inhumane is allowing foreign killers and sex offenders to walk amongst us in the name of the human rights they should have forfeited the moment they committed their crimes. You can all sit here and persuade yourselves otherwise, but one simple fact remains. The British people want them gone, not some of them, not most of them, all of them. What happens on return to their own country is quite simply not our problem. The solution is three straightforward steps. Step one, leave the ECHR, remove all other legal obstacles to mass deportations, restore Britain's new 100-page plus policy document proves it can be done. Second step.
That is your three 3 minutes.
Chairman, the interventions held me up.
Well, you didn't have an intervention.
Point of order.
Guys, it is so unbelievable to see that it is now considered racist or far right to demand the deportation of criminals who are actively destroying your society. It is unbelievable. These things used to be the norm in the past. It used to be normal for criminals who are not natives of a country to be sent back to their home countries when they commit deportable crimes. But today, if you demand the same thing, you get called a horrible, despicable racist. What is going on? I can remember years ago, back when I was a little kid, maybe when I was 6 years old, it has always been a normal understanding amongst us Africans, at least amongst us Nigerians, that if you travel abroad, if you go to places like the UK, Germany, the US, and you commit serious crimes, then you are getting deported back home. Okay? At that time, when you see our uncles and our aunts going to study abroad, the number one advice they are being given is, do not commit crimes. Don't put yourselves in situations that will warrant the government of these countries to send you back to Nigeria. That is the warning. So it is an understandable thing back then. But today, somehow, it is seen as extremely hateful and racist to demand these things. The ECHR has become a shield for criminals who commit awful crimes against British natives. Yet, they dodge deportation on technicalities. Robert Lowe's point is crystal clear. These laws prioritize foreign offenders over the safety of his own people, of the people of Britain. And the reaction we are seeing from the enablers of this rot, so-called fellow MPs, is pure discomfort. They are extremely uncomfortable with the truth. Their interruptions show that they are rattled because the native Brits are waking up, and support for figures like Rupert Lowe and the broader push to restore Britain is surging. They are so uncomfortable. Let's continue.
When we see pictures of boats entering Dover, packed full of supposedly desperate asylum seekers, I want to ask, where are the women?
Here.
Where are the children? The craft are filled almost exclusively with men, young men. How did they secure the rumoured £5,000 to pay for the cost of their crossing? Even by the Home Office's own figures, in 2022, 87% of these people were men. We must be abundantly clear and honest with the British people. These are foreign males looking to take advantage of our soft borders and our incompetent establishment. They are not, in the vast majority of cases, people genuinely fleeing war and persecution. There are roughly 30,000 illegal migrants in hotels around the country. As we know, the vast majority are young males. These men are not desperate asylum seekers. They are not irregular migrants. They are illegal migrants, and they should be treated as such. Spreading them across the country into unsuspecting communities is pure insanity. Ask yourselves honestly, if a hotel at the bottom of your road was suddenly filled overnight with young foreign males who have entered the country almost entirely unchecked, would you be happy for your teenage daughter to go out after dark? This is not racist, far right, or whatever else. It's a reality, one we must start to deal with. I will give way.
Thank the honourable member for giving way. Does he agree with me that women across the country face very difficult situations working home at night, and often the tone of debate is incredibly important to maintain our safety in all situations?
I thank the honourable member for her question. I don't think the tone of the debate is in any way relevant to this. What's relevant to this is what the government does to protect the interests of the British people. Send the following message and the boats will stop. If you come to the UK illegally, you won't be met with luxury accommodation. What will the British government do to you? 2 words: detain, deport. This is the only way. Thank you.
I'm so happy he shut her down immediately. I mean, she was trying to divert his attention and draw him away from the issue he's discussing so that he can be distracted and start discussing something totally different. This is one of those people, those white liberal women who are seriously plagued with copious amounts of suicidal empathy. And I'm extremely happy that Robert Lowe did not even take her bait of distraction. He set her straight and continued having his discussion. Good job.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. As the Minister knows, our independent rape gang inquiry hearings are ongoing, just a short walk from this chamber. Last week, I sat opposite one woman who was raped by between 600 and 700 men. She estimated that 98% were Pakistani Muslims. The evidence we are collecting is brutal. Again and again, we've been told of failed attempts to traffic raped and abused women overseas to Pakistan and elsewhere. Thankfully, those attempts failed. How many did not? Will the Minister agree to urgently review cases of missing girls in target areas and launch a full state investigation into reports of such trafficking?
Justice Secretary.
Mr. Speaker, the testimony of the victims that the Honourable Gentleman has heard from is absolutely horrifying, and the grooming gang scandal was one of the darkest moments in this country's history. Victims and survivors of these hideous crimes deserve justice, and we will make sure they get it. Our inquiry is a full, statutory, independent inquiry with all of the powers under the Inquiries Act 2005 to deliver justice, and I would urge him and anybody else with any allegations of criminality or evidence of criminality to share that with the police immediately.
See how the so-called Home Secretary jumped up like she cares about seeing the grooming gangs being brought to book, when in fact, she doesn't want that at all. She says, oh, report the action to the police. If you have a story to share about the grooming gangs, come forward, share your stories. But these are the same people who are strongly against the deportations of the same grooming gangs who have assaulted and even trafficked hundreds of British young women. These guys promised investigations. The Labour Party and the same Home Office said that they're going to get to the bottom of it. But years later, nothing, no action. They did not do anything. It was still Robert Lowe who is conducting real inquiries and investigations, exposing the scale of this heinous crime and refusing to back down, even when he gets slapped with things like far-right, racist, all these crazy labels. When you check his S account, you'll be surprised at the level of crime he has exposed of these Pakistani grooming gangs. Each story he exposes keeps getting scarier and worse than the one before it. He is not racist for wanting British girls protected, for wanting criminals deported, for wanting borders that actually mean something. That is not being racist. That is just common sense.
But if a migrant, legal or illegal, can't speak English, claims benefits, lives in social housing, refuses to work, rejects integration, commits crime, is a drain on our society, or even actively hates Britain and wishes to do us harm, that they should be removed from our country, regardless of how many millions of deportations that will inevitably result in.
Guys, this is a man, a patriot, standing up for his people. He is standing in the heart of British democracy and saying enough is enough. The British people were sold a lie that multiculturalism was their strength and that diversity will benefit them. But what they have seen instead is division, crime waves, and a cultural shift that is eroding everything that made Britain great. Take a look at the boat arrivals. Overwhelmingly military-aged men, fit young guys crossing the channel. Where are the children and the women, like he mentioned? Well, you're not going to find them, because what you are witnessing is not a genuine persecution. It is economic migration and a replacement tactic. Able-bodied, military-aged men coming to overwhelm, to replace, and in too many cases, to bring mayhem, rape, killings, gang violence to the United Kingdom. These guys are not integrating. They are exploiting the system, claiming asylum while draining the resources and committing disproportionate crime. You now have no-go zones in the UK cities, Sharia patrols, Sharia courts, and a growing sense that parts of the country are slipping away. This man is dropping truth bombs. The Muslim MPs, the anti-British MPs, the cowardly MPs are shaking in their boots and calling him racist and far-right. But the natives are showing him massive support. Massive support is growing for Restore Britain. The natives are rallying around him because they are tired of being second class in their own homeland, tired of taxes funding benefits for illegals, tired of seeing their communities destroyed by grooming gangs and unchecked immigration. The labels don't stick anymore. Racist, far right, it doesn't mean anything because people see through the smears now. Wanting sovereignty, safety, and cultural preservation is not hatred. Instead, it is survival. And the British people are now understanding this. I sincerely hope the Brits reclaim their country because, honestly, it is high time. As always, guys, these are my thoughts and my opinions. Please feel free to share yours in the comment section below, but do so respectfully. Also, if you're not yet subscribed to the channel, I don't know what you're waiting for, subscribe to the channel. Like and share this video to keep people informed, and consider joining my membership or supporting the channel in any way that you can. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope to catch you on the next one. For now, peace.